Welcome to Community Viewpoint. I'm John Pawlak, your host, and Happy New Year. We're taping on January 8th today, and thank God we made it into 2021, and we'll see what happens. One thing that happened already, I was driving down Basin the other day, and lo and behold, I went past the community center, and there's this huge, beautiful, bright, colorful mural that came out of nowhere. It wasn't there like the week before. And then I read in the Plum Valley Times, Selwyn Harris had a wonderful article where it came from. So we're going to be talking to the people that made that happen. First of all, the Plum Tourist director is Arlette Ledbetter, who's here. Hi, Arlette.
Hi, John. Thanks for having us.
And then Bruce Chisholm, who is the artist who created this wonderful mural. He's from Reno, Nevada. Hi, Bryce.
Hello, Bryce Chisholm. Yeah.
Bryce is okay. So, how did this come about, Arlette? I don't get out that much with COVID-19 anymore. I don't drive around too much. So, how did this come about?
That's really what inspired the project, was that people, when they're out, don't have as much freedom to do group things. So let me start with Travel Nevada, our agency for the state that we work closely with, offered us a COVID-19 grant. There were two forms of grants, and one of them was this VIP grant. Mm-hmm. And we had the opportunity to submit for a mural, and we did, and we received the grant. Travel Nevada offered $1.64 million in grants. I applied for about $75,000 in grants and received just over $59,000 in grant funding. Oh. So $8,000 of it was a part of this mural. Our intention was to work with a local and try to make a beautiful project that people could drive by and see from their car. The grant has criteria. It needed to have the messaging of safe and open. And so we went to work on it. And the Pahrump Arts Council did give us an estimate, but because of extenuating circumstances, they were unable to complete the project in the timeline that we had. So we reached out to a few other locals, Pahrump Valley High School, Rosemary Clark Middle School, and it just was a really tough timeline. The federal grant guidelines were December 30th, and we received the grant on November 15th. So
that's
that makes it,
right, yeah.
Yeah, that makes it really hard. We were struggling. I really thought for the first time in my 10-year grant career, I was going to have to forfeit a grant. And I just never want to give back money. Right. It reduces their trust in you, and I would like to fulfill every grant that I receive. So I called Travel Nevada and said, I'm in a bind here. And that's when Bryce Chisholm came on the scene. He's a gift from Travel Nevada.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been noticed that the artist is not from Pahrump. There was a gentleman that wrote a letter to the editor.
Right, right. And I understand that. Our goal was a local, but sometimes plans change. And I really feel like it was a huge gift to receive Bryce, because this is what he does, street art. So an inaugural project with a fabulous artist.
So maybe these other groups will see this in the future, and they'll be clamoring to do the next mural, so to speak.
I'm hoping so. I'd like to see a mural trail. I really would.
Because it's colorful for the town, it's uplifting, and it keeps other things from happening, like people tagging the area too. We lost one mural on the school district headquarters.
Yeah.
that faded away, unfortunately. That was a beautiful mural also.
Right.
Unfortunately, there's only one other mural that we have in town that we had put up near the Chevy dealer. And that was put up there because of people tagging an area up there. But
Yeah,
yes,
I did not know it reduced tagging until I spoke to Bryce. I
mhm,
really didn't know that fact. I do know that it's become a really wildly popular attraction during COVID because you can visit these. It's one of the tours that has continued. Let me say that. In towns that have mural trails, the tours still continue. And that's saying something because many of our attractions have shut down.
right. So that's why I don't get out much. I'd like to do a lot more, but I don't because of the fact of stay home and stay safe. But the mural is beautiful. It's very colorful. And people are just starting to see it now. Like they go past it and on Basin and they're surprised like I was.
Yeah.
And I must say it's a beautiful piece of art.
He had quite a fan base while he was painting.
Did he?
Yeah.
But Bryce, you used to do canvas a lot?
Oh, I still do. I actually have my artwork in galleries in New Mexico, and then Santa Barbara, and then here locally in Reno as well. And so, and then Palm Desert, which is not too far, but
Yeah.
so I kind of spread it out in the different places. Yes.
That's lovely, yes. And you think that the murals is a good way for you to go now? You've
Well,
been doing,
it's not my full time, but I'd say murals have definitely become like 60 to 70% of what I do. It's growing every year for me as well, and so I love spreading out and going into new towns and helping brighten up their walls.
we have a lot of walls, we have a lot of places that could use murals here too to brighten up the town. Yeah, so that would be a fantastic something for you to do down here. Do we have more money for that?
Well, we hope so. We hope to have additional grant funding in the future. I mean, as soon as I saw that mural, I thought of Marilyn at the museum and maybe partnering with her. I thought of several places that even at Maverick. I mean, really, there's so many walls that could use beautification to tell the story of Pahrump. Because Bryce told a beautiful story on that wall with Bob Roode and his contribution. And of course, it's Bob Roode Community Center. I loved the wild horse and the American flag. And then he even was able to incorporate the scenic mountains and a few grapevines in there because Bob Roode was heavily into agriculture when he was here. He's I think, most noted from reading history on him. I've been able to read Jackie Roode's history, and it's fascinating. And he's most noted for his agricultural contributions, but when he became commissioner, most noted for his road development here in Pahrump.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Jackie was a commissioner right after him then?
She took his place. He passed away, and because they sat most often in the living room together and read those minutes and agendas and items up for discussion, she sat with him. She felt she was very qualified to finish out his term for him, and she was. Yeah, super interesting.
So I was interested. I says, "Who's the guy up there with the hat on?"
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sure enough, it was him. And then I did some research also. So I that was from the 70s and 80s. He was still alive.
Yeah, yeah. I think as early as the 60s, his farming and agriculture. I know he served on the board of UNR in the agricultural capacity. And you know, some people have asked who's that guy, and I'd really like to contribute the fact that we have noted that and thought about. I don't know if it's going to take a foundation for this art or what we need to develop, but I'd like a plaque by each artist creation to say a little of the history of what this is. I think in other cities I visited, like Sacramento, Las Vegas, there is a plaque nearby that names the artist and what the story is.
Maybe I should have put it on his hat.
You can always come back, right?
Yeah.
Another question I have, Bryce, the sun is one thing that we have to worry about out here. How long does a mural like that last?
I mean, if it on that wall, it is getting sun all day long. So, I mean, eventually it will fade, but I wouldn't say that'd be in, 10, 15 years.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so I mean, it'll last, and it'll keep on lasting beyond that. It just won't be as bright, The colors eventually will fade.
Okay, great. So it's a great spot for it. And we want to thank you for your contribution. It's well worth it. And well, maybe you'll do one of the walls over in the museum. That's what Maryland needs to offset the museum so more people realize that it's there. Yes.
Well, yeah, that'd be great. And I actually talked to several people that came by while I was painting that maybe I'll be doing some private pieces for people as well.
That's what happens, networking, yes. So that's great. So we're in our last minute. Any last thoughts, guys?
I just want to say, sorry. I just want to say it was great to be involved with this project. And I actually got to do a bunch of research about Pahrump. And I read all these, the stories of the past and how it came about. So I just appreciate learning and meeting all the people that came by and honked at me when I was painting. So thank you.
Yeah. And I'd give a big shout out to Travel Nevada for giving us the opportunity to do this project.
Yes, I met them when they were up in Crystal one time at the Short Branch. So yeah, great people. And Bryce, maybe I'll see you up in Burning Man sometime.
Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
John.
All right, take care, guys.
Thanks.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So